morning, Eagle Nation. Today on Point After, we have a special volleyball playoff edition on Wednesday, November 13th. Last night was the most intense volleyball game this year. The student section was standing room only, with over 350 students occupying the space. We put Frisco High to shame. This was not the first time we played Frisco High School, and we were not the victors of the last 3 games. We were the underdogs, and the game was sure to be a nail-biter. And now, here is a look at the electrifying atmosphere of the Prosper student section that the Frisco Raccoons tried to emulate, but failed. The Eagles entered the regional quarterfinals of playoffs to face their district rival Frisco High. The Eagles have faced the Raccoons 3 times this season and have failed to pull off the win. Tonight would be a different story. Calling last night's crowd a packed house is an understatement as the girls stepped onto the court in front of a sea of Eagle green. Last night's crowd had to be a record breaker for a state volleyball playoff game. Prosper commanded the court from the very first serve. Looking for some revenge against Frisco High, the Eagles were determined to turn the tide. Prosper came out focused and ready to win, jumping out to an early 5-2 lead. The Eagles pummeled the Raccoons with hard-hitting, aggressive play on the court. Prosper led the middle of the game 14-10 and quickly increased the deficit to 21-15. Meredith Bramer led the team with 13 kills in the night, leading the Eagles to a Game 1 win, 25-17. On to Game 2. The Eagles again took command of the court, but then allowed Frisco to get back into rhythm and tie it up 7-7 early. Frisco went on a 4-point run, increasing their score to close the deficit by 3. The Raccoons pulled ahead of the Eagles and looked as if they might even up the match, but the Eagles would not be denied and turned up the heat with pounding offense and relentless defense. Frisco focused on shutting down Abby Jamison, but the team play of the Eagles proved too much to handle. Late in the second, Ashley Brown went down with a high ankle sprain as the Eagles held their breath. However, it was the composure shown by freshman Abby Gargis that put the spark back in the Prosper crowd. Gargis would prove up to the challenge and had 14 assists and 8 digs of her own. The Eagles roared back with a 3-point run to tie it up 22-22. In a nail-biting Game 2, the Eagles would be victorious 25-23 to lead the match 2-0. In the final game, Prosper was prepared to battle. Kaylee Cole, who had 23 digs for the night, anchored the Prosper defense, and the Eagles would go up 17-13. But the Raccoons would not go away without a fight, pushing back against the Eagles. To make the game interesting, they tied it up 19-19 and methodically moved into the lead. With a 2-0 match cushion, the Eagles refused to be rattled, but were ready to put this one to bed. Sydney Riggs would collect her 7th kill of the night to score the final game point and put the final nail in the Raccoon coffin. Prosper Eagles proved their worth and defeated Frisco to become the regional quarterfinal champions, with final score of the game 3, 26-24. Get out your brooms, folks. This one was a sweep. Now let's hear from what some of the players said after the game.
Like we've never had before. We were more than prepared. We had a team pep talk before. We were so focused in the tournament. I think that's what helped get us victory.
I was really scared at first, but it was my chance to show that a freshman could play varsity. And it was so much fun. Everyone was so nice about it.
And now we're back with head coach Erin McClanahan to talk about last night's game. Coach Mack, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
So just tell me how you guys prepared for the game. I mean, you played against Frisco, lost all 3 times you've played them. This is the 4th time. I mean, this was your make or break for your playoff game. Just how did you prepare for that?
the back half of our district season, I looked at our matches and I thought, okay, well, we could either finish second or third in district realistically. And so the second and third place teams went to the same side of the bracket. And so I looked and I saw that if we won our first and second round games, we would have to face Frisco in the third round. And after losing to them 3 times, I knew that something had to be changed, something different had to take effect for us to compete with them, because I can't expect as a coach for my team to go out the 4th time with the same exact lineup and the same plays and expect a different result. So heading into the Colony, which was I believe it was our second to last match in district, I changed up the lineup. I switched Abby Jamison and Maddie Scarborough. They basically started playing each other's positions, and it was really rough against the Colony. We won in 5, but I knew that was a match that we could have some growing pains and still probably pull it out. So we won in 5, and we stuck with that lineup against Frisco Heritage, and we lost game 1 to Frisco Heritage, and after that, we just caught fire. It was like a light switched on, and so we started playing great volleyball. And because I have them in different positions now, we're able to run a different offense. I've really been working with Ashley Brown and Abby Gargis on being offensive as setters when they're in the front row, which really helped last night when Abby came in for the injured Ashley. And so we just showed a different style of volleyball to Frisco, something they haven't seen before, and we really tried to attack their right back because that's where their setter is. So if the setter is digging the first ball and not setting the second ball, then they couldn't get the ball to number 15, their big middle. And that girl has been unstoppable against us. And so last night, I think she was held to 2 kills, and she had more errors than kills. And so that was really, that was our game plan, and we executed it perfectly, and we swept them.
Absolutely. So tell me how the crowd, I mean, there's more than 350 kids there. How did that propel you guys to the victory?
I can't even begin to explain how amazing, how awesome the crowd was last night. You know, from point 1, we had so many kids, and not only did we have fans, but we had active fans. They were yelling, they were screaming, they were cheering for us, they were razzing Frisco. I couldn't believe, you know, yes, it did help propel us, but I couldn't believe how defeated Frisco got quickly. And for a team to be 3-0 against us, heading into in playoffs, facing us a 4th time, I would assume that they would have been very excited and very confident against us. But I really believe that the noise that our crowd made, the fact that we had so many more fans than they did, it really was like a home court advantage. And not only was it a home court advantage, but it was a loud home court advantage. From point 1, Frisco just played defeated. And I don't think that their crowd ever helped them catch any momentum. Even when they were up 17-13, I think it was game 2, we still played with confidence. Our crowd was still interactive. It didn't matter if we were down by 4. They were cheering like we were beating them by 10 points. And so when it got tight in games 2 and 3, and I had to put our freshmen in, our crowd just really uplifted our players. And I told the girls before the match, take this in and savor every second of it, but don't be content. These people are here cheering you on because of what you've done so far, but it's not good enough for them to come here and cheer you on in a loss. They've got to see you win. They've got to see you beat Frisco. They've got to see you play good volleyball, because good volleyball is exciting to watch. And so I thought they played the best match of their life, or at least of the season. And I would owe it almost all to the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully we have a big turnout on Friday too against Waxahachie. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. So thank you so much for coming in, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Hope you guys.
Thank you. The game is at 5 at Richardson Berkner.
Awesome. Okay, with that, I'm Elise Parker, and the point after is good.